What should be disclosed if you are in the process of selling your home? Let's talk about it. My name is Wanda Rochelle, and I'm a licensed realtor and probate specialist. Hello, welcome to our seller home series today, where we are here again educating sellers. Today, our topic is what should be disclosed. I'm Wanda Rochelle.
And I'm Nia Jordan.
And we are realtors here in Georgia. And let's go ahead and get started, Nia.
All right. So first off, what is the property disclosure? It's an actual document that will be included in the contract whenever someone purchases your home. This document is super important because it makes sure that the buyer is fully informed about the condition of your property. So it'll have a ton of questions related to everything from the HOA to the roof, to the plumbing, to the boundaries of your property. Again, this is important because it'll also protect you in the event that the buyer brings a lawsuit against you. So you want to make sure that you disclose the condition of your property to the best of your knowledge.
Awesome. The only thing I would add to that is that it is an actual document, and it is rather extensive. It's about 7 pages.
All right. So another thing to note about the property disclosure is that it can vary from state to state or based on your local laws. So of course, we're based in the Metro Atlanta area. So we will tell you what the Georgia disclosure is like, but it could be different for you if you're based in Texas or New York or wherever. Another thing to understand about the disclosure is that it's okay if you don't know everything. Like Wanda said, it's a 7-page document with a ton of questions. So just do your best, answer to the best of your knowledge. In Georgia, the law around real estate is caveat emptor, which is Latin for buyer beware. So what that basically means is it's the buyer's responsibility to conduct a thorough inspection of the property. So yes, they'll use that property disclosure to help guide them in the decision-making process, but it's also their responsibility to do their own due diligence.
Yes.
All right. So can you tell them what they should disclose?
Okay, so you want to make sure you disclose if there are any liens on the property, if there are any tax liens, if you have someone that has maybe sued you and has actually gone to the courthouse and placed a lien on the property. You want to make sure that you disclose that in the beginning, even though the attorney will pull the title and it will come up, but it's good to go ahead and disclose it also in the beginning. You want to also disclose any repairs, any maintenance that you've done since you've been in the home. Repairs would be any plumbing that you did, if there are any leaks in any bedrooms, any bathrooms, any repairs or any maintenance that you've done, you want to go ahead and disclose those. You also want to disclose any items that you want to transfer with the sale. And do you want to talk about that, Nia?
Yeah, so we can talk a little bit more about that in detail on the next slide. So on the next slide, we have all the sections that are included in the property disclosure for Georgia. Remember, it could be different for your state, but we did want to highlight the main sections that you'll see in the Georgia property disclosure. So the first thing will be the occupancy status. So they want to know, have you lived in the property? How long has the property been vacant? Also, do you have an HOA? Are you subject to restrictions through that HOA? Have you used lead-based or was lead-based paint used in the production of your home? This is common for older homes. So if your house was built in the 70s or before then, this will most likely apply to you. But yeah, it's good to know if lead was used in the home because it can be hazardous to humans. I want to know the condition of the structural, roof, and systems in your home. So when was the last time your roof was maintained? Have you ever had a leak in your plumbing or in the roof itself? Do you have any knowledge of foundational issues? These are the types of things that buyers need to know when purchasing your home. Also, there will be questions about soil and boundaries. So has there been erosion on your property? Do you share your driveway with another homeowner? What is the boundaries of your property? Also, do you have any knowledge of termites or any other wood destroying organisms in your home? Also, it'll ask you if you have a termite bond, because things like that can be transferable to a new buyer. Also, do you have any knowledge of environmental concerns? Like radon gas is common in Georgia, so it's important for a buyer to know exactly what they're getting into when they purchase that home. So do you have any knowledge of radon? Do you have any knowledge of asbestos or anything like that? Also, are there any claims against your property? I know we talked about this briefly in a previous slide, but are there any insurance claims that have been put against your property? Do you have any liens against your property? Also, what's the zoning? Is it residential? Is it commercial? Is it agricultural? And then also, like Wanda mentioned on the last slide, what items will be transferred with the sale? So that's what fixtures means. Will there be appliances that you're leaving at the house? Do you have a really nice chandelier in your living room that you want to take with you? Or even down to like anything like a fence, or it could be literally anything, a security system. So just make sure you're clear on what's being included in the sale so that the buyer knows exactly what they're getting.
Awesome. I would add to that when it comes to revealing things that a lot of times I find that the sellers may forget about things that happen after the buyer has done the inspection and the inspector notices something, and then the seller has to come back and say, oh, I forgot we did have a plumbing issue in 2012. So it's important even now we do this session because we want you to educate yourself on the seller process. You may not even be in a position to sell right now, but you may be thinking you want to sell 5 years down the road. So it's a good idea if you have a plumber or another contractor to come out today, go ahead and keep the receipt, keep them all in a folder somewhere or scan them to your computer. That way you'll be able to go back and have a record of everything that was done. Yes.
All right. So one thing we want to reiterate is that it's okay if you don't know everything. I know that was a very long list and it can be intimidating, especially if you've been in your house for 30 years. How are you going to remember what you did in your first 5 years there? So it's okay if you don't know everything. Your legal obligation is to answer all the questions honestly to the best of your knowledge. And again, the buyer is responsible for doing their own due diligence. So make sure you share what you can, but they also will be responsible for, inspecting the property on their own.
Awesome.
All right.
Okay, so how does this affect a probate sale? And I want to make sure that we touch base with this because being a probate realtor, sometimes, maybe your loved one has passed away and you are in a position where you need to sell their home and you want to complete the seller disclosure statement. However, you may not know what to put on the form because you didn't live there. Maybe it was your mom's home. So we want to make sure that we emphasize that there is a way around that because there is a document that you can complete that simply states you did not live in the home and you're not aware of any latent defects. I believe that's how it's worded on the document. So just want to make sure that we cover that because as a probate realtor, a lot of times, like I said, you're in a position where you need to sell your loved one's home.
All right. Any questions? All right. Well, join us next time. We're here every third Saturday of the month at 10 a.m. So our next one will be Saturday, October 15th. We look forward to seeing you at 10 a.m. If you have any questions, feel free to reach out to us directly. What's the email that they can reach out to?
The email is info@faithandrealestate.com.
All right. So feel free to share any other topics you want us to cover. Ask us any clarifying questions. We'll be happy to get back to you and we'll see you next time.